Hey guys, I'm Dylan with This Week in Airsoft, and I am with
John Bucciarelli, Blacksheep 6.
and Jason Savoy, This Week in Airsoft. And Jason Savoy is our newest member on the team, and he just attended John Bucciarelli's battle in Ponchatoula, and I'm just going to hand everything over to him. All right, enjoy. So John, first of all, thank you. Thank you so much for traveling over 1,000 miles to our little corner of Louisiana. I have never attended a Blacksheep Milsim game before. This is my first time. However, I have seen other Milsim organizations function. Which brings me to my first question. Why travel 1,000 miles to one corner of Louisiana?
Because I really believe in this sport, and in order to help grow the sport and grow Milsim communities, you've got to get out there and teach people how to do it correctly, and so that they learn how to do the tactics, they enjoy the team aspect of the sport, and it takes to plant the seeds and watch them grow.
Which brings me to my my first segue is you had your squad tactics and land nav yesterday.
Right.
How did that go?
It went awesome. It's really neat to watch, folks that really don't know anything as far as tactics are concerned, and to go through the classroom and then the walk phase, and then by the end of the day they're actually firing and maneuvering as a squad. It's just very rewarding work.
Blacksheep Milsim is synonymous with one particular cause, and that is the PTSD Milsim Challenge. Can you tell us what the PTSD Milsim Challenge is, and go ahead and explain what it is not?
Okay. Well, it's a bigger picture now that we formed the PTSD Milsim Foundation in March, which is a nonprofit organization. So that's all official. We're still waiting on word from the IRS, but that could take several months to get official word back from them. But our attorneys have said that we can act accordingly until we get final word from the IRS. The way that I support the foundation now is that by raising awareness and patches and discounted game tickets, and a portion of that ticket price goes to support the foundation. And there's been a lot of unwarranted controversy, I think, about it. Some people misinterpret what we're doing, but we are all about pursuing research to validate what people are saying, that this sport is helping them with their PTSD symptoms, and that research is important. It costs money, and we're supporting it wholeheartedly through Blacksheep, and through those efforts, hopefully we can get some medical folks involved and validate what we're seeing. And until that point, I've spoken to the VA, and their hands are kind of tied. Until you have something that's proven, they really can't support
Until
it.
you have something that's, you have private, psychologists and private people coming in.
And the medical researchers that can
verify
document
this.
what we're seeing.
Well, we all know, the VA isn't the fastest.
But any cause starts at one point in time, and then it grows from there. And now that the foundation is formed, now is the time for other folks to get on board and help us support this effort, because it is providing benefit to quite a few folks.
Speaking of time, how has Blacksheep changed from, let's say, when you first started the organization, in 2004, I believe?
I got involved in the sport in 2004.
And how has it evolved till today?
Well, the basic model hasn't changed very much. We've tweaked the rules as we've learned, by playing the game. So the rules are basically the same with some minor tweaks, but the model that I'm using is based on what we did up at Fort Drum with the Pine Plains series, and that first event was 80 people, and over the course of 7 events, that event grew to 650 people. And so I'm taking that model and I'm using it around the country to build Milsim communities, and Shelby is a great example. The first event down here was 220 people, and last year, or the most recent event, was 450. So the Milsom community down here in the Gulf Coast is
blossomed.
Is really growing.
I was very shocked, and you notice it it's not just at the, let's say, at Shelby. It's at our local fields. Milsom has taken over in airsoft around here.
Yeah.
And I personally love it. We're not just shooting each other in the woods. There's actually objectives. There's substance.
There's thinking going
There's
on.
thinking. You gotta think about, okay, we can't do this thing. This failed. How can we accomplish this goal? And that is what I love most.
Yeah.
The role of the medic even. I played medic today, and it is one of the besides squad leader, it is one of the hardest jobs.
It is.
Because you're running around, you know, when it hits the fan, you got to be there on top of people, keeping your men in the fight.
Yeah. And you know, interesting point that Soldier of the Battle awards from the big events, the majority of players getting Soldier of the Battle have been medics because it is such a valuable role, and the squad depends on them so dramatically.
Where do you see Black Sheep going into the future?
We've got a lot of plans. You know, I'm committed to growing the sport, and you know, there are some people that don't think that this is a sport, but I firmly believe that it is, and that the participants in this sport are athletes of the highest caliber, because you do something physically and mentally demanding for 24 hours. That takes a lot of conditioning on many different levels. So to continue to grow the sport, to seek out, you know, new venues that we can find that we can hold these top tier games at, and we've got some other things in the works that I can't really talk about yet until they happen. But it's all towards growing the sport, and then, you know, my commitment also remains to the PTSD Milsim Foundation and getting that awareness built and getting the validation that we need.
If people want to check you out or check out the events or the PTSD Milsim Challenge, where should they go?
Well, two places. For Black Sheep, go to blacksheepmilsim.com and go to ptsdmilsimfoundation.org to check out the foundation. And for anybody out there that has a story to share about how Milsim has helped them with their PTSD, or even civilians on how you've gained a better understanding of what soldiers and Marines do in their life, go to the PTSD Milsim Canteen on Facebook.
Well, John, I got to thank you for one hell of a day.
Thank you.
I am personally worn out. I think the high today was 87 with about 200% humidity.
Yep. And no heat casualties.
No heat casualties. We all stayed cool. I am Jason with This Week in Airsoft, and this is
John Bucciarelli for Black Sheep Milsim.
signing off.